What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video. We have car, airplane, and bike carved in an 800-year-old temple. Is history wrong? Before we dive into this video, if you would like to support the channel by becoming a member, there is a link in the description section where you can sign up and receive exclusive benefits that I think you guys will enjoy. But let's dive into this video.
Hey guys, today we're going to a very strange ancient temple in Bali, Indonesia. As you can see, this is the name of the temple, and here you can see the year it was constructed. It was built in 1205, which means it was built about 800 years ago.
God dang.
But just behind this, you can see this strange carving on the wall.
That's definitely a car.
Can you tell me what this is?
That's a car.
Yes, it is a car, just like a modern-day car with 4 wheels. You can see the body of the car here. You can see that it has 1 door carved on it. And this guy is driving it. He has 1 hand on the steering wheel. And on the other hand, he's blowing a horn. He's honking by pressing this bulb-like thing.
Now, what is going on? This is 800 years ago. What on? You telling me it was carved in here 800 years ago? Somebody lying to me. Who's telling a lie? How?
These types of horns are called the bugle air horns. And when you press them, it honks. And look at the big light in front of the car. A giant light source is mounted in the front. How can a temple built 800 years ago have a car carved on it? Did cars exist 800 years ago? But there's something even more crazy. Can you tell me what this guy is holding? Is that a gun?
That's a gun.
Yes, it is a pistol. The guy is holding a gun and is going to shoot the driver of the car here.
In the world?
What's going on? This guy is either very obese or he's sitting inside something. You can see his big shoes at the bottom. But the whole scene looks very surreal because you can also see this carved next to it. An ancient soldier sitting on a horse. He's holding a bow in one hand and is releasing an arrow from it. There is one guy kneeling in front of him and begging for life. This is typical of 800-year-old Hindu temples in Indonesia. So we can see the ancient arrow on the left and the modern gun on the right, side by side. How do we see a scene from many centuries ago along with a scene that is quite modern?
Facts.
But maybe this is not a gun. Maybe it is something else, right? Because the carvings are so old.
Look like a gun to me. Look like he holding that pistol to me. To me. This is, I'm utterly baffled by the carvings on. Somebody had to carve this recently. How?
And eroded. Maybe we're making a mistake. And what if this is not a car? What if this is a chariot or a horse-drawn cart without the horse?
Be right.
Is it possible that we're making a mistake? No, look at this carving nearby. Another car, definitely a car. It has 4 wheels and this one has 2 doors, one for the driver and one for the passenger. You can see a driver holding the steering wheel, but this steering wheel is damaged. But again, you can see him honking by pressing the bugle horn. You can even see the gear sticking out at the bottom. The driver has long hair, but the passengers sitting behind seem to have neatly trimmed hair. And they're going to run over this guy who's sitting in a chair. Now, what is this guy doing? He's casually smoking a pipe, sitting in his garden under a giant parasol. But
Huh.
all this is nothing compared to what we find in another wall.
What else you
Here's a
find?
plane. Yes, it is an
Nah, stop
airplane
it. Stop
flying
it.
in the sky.
Stop.
Is it
Now
an
somebody had to carve this. This was not carved. It couldn't have been carved 800 years ago. It could not have been unless time travel exists. Somebody went back in time. That's the only explanation I got. Or it was just carved recently because this is insane.
ancient Vimana, an ancient flying machine mentioned in sacred Hindu texts? No, actually, it looks like a modern day microlight or
Yes.
a small plane. And even more interesting, there is a spectacular detail carved here.
And they got that
Can
bike
you
under
tell
it.
me what it is? Here's another plane, and they're having a dogfight in midair. These two planes are trying to destroy each other. But who is winning? You can see that
I'll
this
say-
guy
yeah, I'll
is
say that
still
plane.
sitting inside his plane. But what about this one? It's empty. Where's the Top Gun? Where is the pilot? Can you spot the pilot? Look, he's falling from the plane to the ground. He is carved in midair. It is too bad that this carving is not fully visible because of the moss, but you can still see one leg here and the other leg here. And if you look carefully, you can see
I
his
can see his
whole
arms.
body as well. And watch this guy's reaction. He's watching the whole dogfight from the ground. And he's in complete shock that these guys are fighting in midair. He's pointing at the sky, and his friend is
Yes.
also looking up, trying to understand what is going on. How is such a scene carved in an 800-year-old
Don't make
temple?
no
It
sense.
definitely does not belong here, right? Did ancient builders use their psychic powers to look into the future and
I don't know
carve
what
this
happened.
scene? Or did they time travel and visit the 21st
I'm telling
century, go back to 1205, and then carve the scene?
I'm telling y'all, somebody out here time traveling. It's real. I'm a believer now. Unless somebody did that recently, we got time travelers on our hands.
Or are these carvings new? If so, why does it say that the temple was built
They gotta be
800
new.
years ago?
They've got to
But
be new. Though.
we are going to
They've got
find
be
out
new.
what is going on. So let's look at the rest of the carvings. Here is a bicycle. This is
Yeah.
very interesting. It is a bike carved in a Hindu temple. I have already shown you another temple in India
What
with
the?
a bicycle carved on its walls. This is a second bicycle carved in another Hindu temple. And you can see him pedaling his bicycle, and it even has a basket
Yo.
in front of the bike. Why do we see these crazy details in this temple?
Swear.
Let me show you the caretaker and the guide of this temple. His name is Agus. Listen to his
Agus.
explanation.
This temple had a war between the Dutch and Balinese. Okay. The war broke out in 1848 and 1849. And to remember the war, my ancestor may carving a car, boat,
Okay.
bicycle, and aeroplane in front of this temple.
Okay.
In 1849.
Yeah, which 1848 and 1849.
So they carved this 1849?
But this is after the war. Because in the war, this temple and this village is broken all.
Okay, this temple is broken.
Yeah, but the existence of this temple before the war around 12th century.
12th century.
Yeah,
That's
but-
the original.
Okay.
Yeah, but-
Okay. Now I get it. Makes sense to me. I was about to say, it had to be carved recently, or we got time travelers on our hands. Would have been the only things.
By the war, this temple and this village is broken all.
I'm glad he broke
After
that
the
down
war,
for us.
around 1865, first my ancestor rebuilt this temple step by step.
Okay.
So that's the answer. Even though this temple was originally built 800 years ago, these carvings were made just
That
159
makes sense
years
to
ago.
me.
That's why you are able to see the bicycle, the car, and the airplane carved in this temple. I hope you
Yes.
like this video. I am Praveen Mohan. Really? You think that's what happened? Something is terribly wrong about this explanation.
What you
Let's
mean?
play that again.
But the existence of this temple before the war around 12th century.
12th century.
Yeah,
That's
but
the original.
yeah, but by the war, this temple and this village is broken all.
Okay.
And after the war, around 1865, first my ancestor rebuilt this temple step by step.
Okay.
Did you catch the problem? The very first modern aircraft was not even ready in
Until
1865.
1900s.
Modern airplanes were first flown in 1903 by Wright brothers in the US.
See, I didn't know what the airplane situation was. I just assumed they was. I didn't remember when the Wright brothers built them, but okay.
That only happened 38 years after these carvings. Believe it or not, these kind of cars also did not exist in 1865. At that time, the cars looked simplistic
God.
and they had not started commercial manufacturing, and they would not have reached this side of the world. These look very
somebody
similar
carved them
to
more
the
recently.
Ford Model T launched in 1908. So these kinds of cars also did not exist in 1865, the year when all this was supposedly carved. Even though he appears to give a rational explanation, he is still saying that they carved it with time travel abilities or psychic abilities. So, when were they actually carved? Probably as late as 1950. Indonesia proclaimed its independence only in 1945, and the Dutch only accepted it in 1949. And dogfights, even though they began in 1913, they only became well known during World War II. So, for sculptors to have witnessed aerial combat, cars and bicycles, they must have gone through more time. In all
Exactly.
probability, these carvings were done after 1950, which means
That
they're
makes
less
sense.
than 75 years old. So even though Agus, who is actually a lovely guy, mentions 1865 as the year of these carvings, they were probably done much later than that. This is disappointing, but this temple, called the Pura Dalem Jagaraga temple, is the only Hindu temple in the world that has carvings of planes, cars, bicycles,
That's
guns,
pretty awesome.
pipes, and other weird things. And this Hindu temple is not in India. It's in Bali, Indonesia. So, I hope you like this video. I am Praveen Mohan.
I think that was pretty awesome. I knew like it had to be carved recently, unless, like I said, unless they invented time travel. But if time travel could have been invented in the 12th century, then no doubt they could have figured cars and everything out. So, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's all we have for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Check out this video next, and I'll see y'all next time.